Howdy, folks. Steve here. Hey, so starting this week, we're going to start actually releasing bi weekly our actual plays. So, what you're going to hear coming up here is a session 0 of our Retrostar actual play. We recorded this back a couple months ago, and have just been sort of working on getting everything edited and recorded, with that. So, what you're going to hear is a little short, about 20 minutes of a session 0, and then the following week that we upload an actual episode of this, you'll hear the first episode of gameplay, which followed directly after this little session 0. As always, links to our Patreon, Discord, Facebook, all of that fun stuff are in the description. And as I say every episode, or try to, I want to remind everyone, be kind to one another and get out there and play some RPGs. So, if you guys look through the characters, you'll see that there's 3 characters for you guys to fight over. I didn't make any extras. This is not a deadly game. If you manage to kill a character, I'll give you $1.
Challenge accepted.
So Retrostar has quite a few options when it comes to what type of TV show you're making. And one of the TV shows that you can make is sort of a kids, like a kids sci-fi show, right? So you have little kids on board, so there's no real violence, there's no real, like, all the action is sort of, it's Johnny Quest. It's, you know what I mean? Like, it's not this super dark thing. And if you think about it, it's a TV show from the 70s. It's not a super dark thing. So our like I said, our story is going to be that you guys are running a smuggling ship. So whoever wants to take whatever role, we have the captain. Go ahead.
No, I was going to go over that, but you go ahead.
Yeah, we have the captain. That is, and you can name them however you like. I left all of this intentionally vague, so that you folks can fill in name, gender, any of that you want to fill in. I left intentionally vague for you guys. But I did fill in some of the personality of those people. In the character descriptions, you can see kind of the personality that the directors were going.
Like the captain feels very Kirk.
Yes, very Kirk. Dumb as rocks, very brawny.
Cruising with a beehive hairdo.
In casting is sort of the physical description of the character, in a way, almost what the casting notes would be. So you can see in the captain's casting notes, stunning, courageous, disco superstar, all describe the look of this character.
I'm thinking more Galaxy Quest, almost like can hit
Right.
every pose, every mark.
Yes.
But the acting is like, okay.
Yep. Character number 2 is the head of security. So you will manage all means of combat, go kick butt. However, you'll notice that their adventure skill is a 0. This character is very, very much aimed towards somebody who shoots guns, and does a lot of thinking.
This is Oliver Platt in Lake Placid.
Yes.
As opposed to Oliver Platt in Three Musketeers.
Yeah. The casting again, odd casting is the studious but mysterious one. Definitely the brains. And then number 3 is the funny one. Number 3, I didn't intend for this to happen, but somehow I ended up with it. Number 3 is the stowaway that snuck on board before the series started. So you're going to be an established character. We don't have to deal with any of the stowaway stuff. It might come up as like backstory, like somebody might like put the spurs to you about it, but it's not going to be a big thing. And this is the part that I laughed at because I don't know why I came up with it, but I did. Your character's 35 and you're playing a 15-year-old. Casting again
called out there.
Yeah, well, no,
focused on.
Oh, I wasn't. I didn't have anybody in particular. I have friends. I should show pictures of some of my friends.
Ralph Macchio was almost 30 when he played Karate Kid and Karate Kid 3.
Exactly. So, And again, the forever young, even though the lines on your face beg to differ. You're sort of with the scamp, you're sort of an all around character as well.
They each have a gun that says Robert McGuffin. Should I read
Yes.
into the McGuffin name?
Do you know what you ever heard the term MacGuffin?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's the point of the Robert
Okay.
MacGuffin gun.
Just wanted to make sure that's
Yeah.
what it was. I was like, is there some actual person in this backstory I need to know about?
No,
or is it just
no.
this is a plot point to drive forward story?
Yep,
Cool.
this is a I don't know what I need to do. I'm gonna pull out my MacGuffin gun.
Love it. Love it.
And you all have a special effects pool 4, which I'll do a little bit of explaining on that. So in your day-to-day dealings in the TV show, you will need to interact with various goofy items, right? So say you need a ray gun, or say you need a scanner or phaser. Depending on the power of that item, it's either 1, 2, or 3 special effects points. So you can spend special effects points to say, hey, in this scene, I pull out my phaser, I spend 1 special effects point to use my phaser and scan the thing, right? So sort of what makes this game a little different than other games based around actors is that it's a very collaborative game, whereas a lot of other acting games are very heavy on the GM. So it's as much on you guys to tell the story as it is on me. And you can see that in that I left what are referred to as dials or series dials open. So as your characters progress, you can fill in 1 through 7 on how you feel your character fits in the series.
Where
So
are you talking about?
Right at the top of the character sheet.
Okay,
There's
I see it now.
thematic plot reoccurring.
Okay.
Yep, thematic plot, reoccurring, cheese, and special effects.
Gotcha.
So as you feel your character, if you find your character's leaning more as a thematic character, you're only in scenes where it's thematically appropriate, or you're dialing a particular theme in, you can put points into that. And now that's nothing other than just to give you reference. I think it's actually a really cool feature. I'll just speak on this a little bit. I don't know how it'll play out here, but it's actually kind of a really cool feature in that is to give you reference if you take a long time away from a character. So this is almost made in a way that you could make, say, one player could play 4 or 5 like 2 or 3 characters, and fill in that series dial for each one of those characters. And you could play like an anthology series with this really easily. I think it's a really cool system. So you might be wondering sort of how the dice works, which is what the reference sheet comes in handy for. So if you bring up the reference sheet, and I'll talk to that a little bit. Where did I put it? Here it is, JPEG. It's the only thing saved is not a PDF. So how many dice do I roll, and what do I need to keep? Depending on your skill level. So if you're, and again, that comes back to those base 3 stats. If you're rolling with a +1, it's 3 dice and you keep the 2 highest. A 0 is 2 dice and you just add together the 2 results. And a -1 is 3 dice and you keep the 2 lowest. And then for each of you, you have a modifier that you can add to the scene. So if you feel that it's thematically appropriate to add in your, say you add in your negative modifier, like somebody has chewing the scenery, or not chewing the scenery, or somebody has like
Chewing scene.
Yeah, or something like that. If that's your negative modifier, you can add that in to add a little bit more drama to the story, right?
Got it.
Go ahead, Steve. You look like you had a question.
No, I'm just reading things and following along.
Every character can assist each other. How that works is you will, by assisting, the assisting character has to, let me double check that. I'm sorry.
It says give a 2D benefit to the other player. What does that mean?
So I think it's the result of your die.
Oh, that would make more sense because I was thinking you let the other person roll 2 additional dice.
Yeah, you do allow them to roll 2 additional dice, but it's 2d whatever the result of the assisted die is. But I want to make sure that I'm
I have thoughts on the stowaway.
I
okay.
think. Oh, gee, Hagen
Does that
playing
mean
the
you want to
kid.
play it?
What did I play when we played Star Wars D6?
The
Getting
kid,
really into
probably.
character.
Same thing I played when I played Indiana Jones too. Oddly, Matt was mad that he misunderstood Dodge.
Okay, here's the assisting the other characters thing. If it happens, players want to help each other. Players help other players. Sorry, their characters want to help other characters, and in this situation, the character assisting will state their intent and how they're going to help the other character. If the showrunner decides this is acceptable, the assisting player will then make a roll as normal with benefits and obstacles applied as usual. So it looks like what that means is that rather than going with the intention results like you would normally, you go with the assisting results. That makes sense?
See, okay, just looking at the reference sheet, I was thinking maybe it's something like if I go to assist Ben with something, I roll 2d6, and it's like PBTA, where 2 to 6, I make stuff worse. 7 to 9 is okay, and 10 is woohoo.
Actually, you know what? I think you're right. I think the wording in the book's a little confusing on that.
That's
Yeah,
just
I want to clarify. Are you just rolling 2 dice, or do I have to pick one of my skill abilities and roll it normally, and then that outcome defines how I assist?
I think you're onto it. I think as the assist, you make a skill roll, and then this chart is what you use to see what the total of that skill roll does. Does that make sense to anybody? I haven't read the book at all, so
Same, just full up. Yeah, I have.
Based on what I'm looking at in the book, that sounds fair. Let's just do
Okay.
it that way.
Just to clarify, if I go to assist, I'm going to be rolling my dice pool as normal. Then,
Right.
based off interpreting that, we're just looking at the assisting results instead of the normal interpreting results. Cool.
Correct.
Sounds good to me. Cool.
All right. So then the last thing is spotlight tokens. A communal pool of spotlight tokens equal to the number of players multiplied by 3. So that'll be what? 9 spotlight tokens. I believe they're like what are those coins?
Bennies.
says a player may spend a spotlight token from the pool and activate something from the acting character's aspects, background, casting, or descriptors to gain plus 2d to an intent.
Okay. So yeah, you can just what I'll let you do is if you want to just make something up based on the short description or write up a longer description of those characters, I'll give you that. So it's sort of like
Story points.
yeah, that's it.
Okay,
That's
good.
what I was looking for.
Sorry, you weren't saying a system, so I was like, I don't want to just jump in here.
No, that's what I was looking for.
This is Steve and I having a conversation on a regular basis.
I was thinking like Bennies and Savage Worlds.
Yeah, Bennies and Savage Worlds or story
Fate
points or anything
points.
like that. Yeah, fate points.
Hey, Steve, would it be possible for us to use these spotlight points to create like character background in the moment to use?
Yeah, I'll give
Okay.
you that. I'll let you just pull something. I don't care.
Well, and my goal is for that to go forwards in forming the character, you know.
Yeah, no, I get what you're
Perfect.
saying.
Monologue a little bit about your past. Yeah.
Yeah, boohoo and cry about the woman that got away, whatever. Man, woman, alien, whatever.
Well, depending on your character.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think I'm ready to talk characters, unless
Alright.
there's anything else big that you have for us.
I think that's it. Intention is what you're intending to do. I think that's pretty clear, easy to understand. But I'll let you guys talk characters. I'm gonna step away, get a bottle of water because apparently I forgot to grab my bottle of water, and I'll be right back.
Squirrel. Oh, Hagen. You said you were leaning towards the outcast stowaway?
Yeah, it seems fun.
Yeah, I was thinking about going the guy route from Galaxy Quest, but I wasn't particularly invested in any of them over the others.
I'm either or. Probably was the least interested in the kid, to be honest. So
Okay, cool. So then why don't you be the kid? So that leaves us, the captain and the brooding head of security.
mm-hmm.
Do you feel like being really flamboyant, Steve?
I'm not necessarily the best at flamboyant.
Really? I would love to see you do this disco star behavior. I don't feel strongly. Do you have a preference?
I don't know. I mean, I could do the captain if you want, or I could do the security. Kind of feel like playing into the idiot role a little more than, being the brains of the outfit.
All right. I don't. Well, let's back up and let's just clarify that I try to be the brains. That doesn't mean I always succeed keeping you in line, but damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a physicist. Cool. All right, I can be the engineering or security. Sorry, can I be an alien species, or were these mostly just humans at this point?
You can be an alien. However, understand that you're going to be a human painted a color.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yes.
Like Star Trek Romulans.
Yeah.
I was thinking more back to how bad the Cleons were, but
Klingons or Romulans or any of the other species that Kirk encountered.
okay. All right. I got my name. And I'm sorry, did we agree to like a theme of the show? Did we say we were doing the kids show, or that was just an example of one of the options?
I mean, that's up to you guys. I hadn't set necessarily on the kids show aspect, but I figured you guys could just sort of go for maybe like early Star Trek type theme or Battlestar Galactica, maybe something along those lines.
Mostly adults, but there's the one kid that popped up.
Yeah. Wesley.
Or is it Firefly and it's River Tam? All right, cool. I'm good to go.
Everybody else ready?
I believe so.
Did you get
Sounds
downloaded?
Who what?
Did you get downloaded?
Yes.
Okay.
And edited it and other things it did.
Yeah, I'm gonna need character names in like 2 seconds. I need a pencil first.
You want our actor names too?
Sure.
Oh, I have to
Now
come up
you're
with an
gonna make me
actor
think of that.
name. Oof.
Character's name, Steve.
Barnaby Cumberbatch.
Oh my gosh.
All right. Bunch of cucumbers. Got it.
I need a snooty last name.
Prescott.
Ooh, yes.
That's a good one.
Perfect.
He's got 2 first names.
Alfred Prescott. All right, so I am Warvan Lazarus. I am a human with like a plastic thing on my head and my nose and my ears. And my character's name is Alfred Prescott, and I am a very refined stage actor that has somehow ended up on this show.
Yep. That's what I was aiming for.
And I don't like solving things by getting my hands dirty, so I like to do security the intelligent way.
You're playing Count Dooku.
Hey, going for Alan Rickman and Galaxy Quest, but I like both these options.
There you go.
Hi, I'm Houston Winford, and I play the character of Slug. Slug is best known as that impetuous scamp on board. He's got a recurring catchphrase and cheesy jokes. He's kind of a snoop, but he's not very good at hiding
Okay.
because he's not that smart.
What was the actor name again?
Houston Windford. And his catchphrase is usually used as a way to try to distract people from when he's getting in trouble. I got a slug, and holds up a space slug of some kind. Yes, I introduced my daughter's boyfriend to to the dead parrot scene yesterday. So,
and I will be playing Felix Simmons, character being Barnaby Cumberbatch, who is the captain of this vessel, and well, very tough, but often solves problems with his head, and not in the thinking way, but in the bashing way. You know, he's the guy who fixes the computer by smacking it, or disables the comms by shooting it.
It's too bad we don't have an engineering chief to fix everything after you come through then. We're going to turn off the comms. Well, I guess that's a thing now.
All space techs. Did you try turning it off and turning it back on again?
I can't. It was destroyed.
Guys, are we going to recreate IT, but as a science fiction TV show?
Oh, that'd be great. That would be fantastic.
Then I've never even heard of it.
The IT crowd?
The British IT show?
No.
You should watch it. That's not fair. I don't know your humor.
I think it's on Netflix. I haven't watched it either, but I know of it.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, it's very British. It's called the IT crowd. It's hilarious.
Okay. I have to look it up.
Definitely something to watch. All right. Intro and outro music by the band 12 Noon. You can email us at meandsteverpg@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at @andrpgs. Find us on Facebook at Me and Steve RPG Podcast. On Discord at Me and Steve RPGs. And as always, all of these links are in the show notes. Thank you, and be kind to one another.
How much for the cigar?
Cigar, $20, dog. You gotta go down the street to the store and buy that.